In this video we're going to have a look at colour mixing. We're going to start by choosing the colours of our palette, and we're going to choose a red, a yellow and a blue pigment to start off with. And I've chosen this photograph because the colours are not necessarily straightforward. There's quite a few subtle hues in this image. So I'm going to start by thinking about which blue pigment I might want to choose. And I'm searching in my picture for any traces of blue. And if immediately I can't see any blue, I'm going to keep looking. And these blues might be a greeny blue, it might be a grey blue. Anywhere where there's a grey in an image is a great way to start. For example, I can see in the raininess of the window that there is a pale blue in between the raindrops. And I can see a kind of almost a greeny blue in the drops of rain as well. So if I was to colour mix this, I might want to choose a pigment which is perhaps slightly on the greener end of my blue. If I move on to my yellow hue, I'm trying to see if it's a cool yellow, which would be closer to the green, or if it's a warm yellow, which would be closer to the red. And I can see in this image that there is quite a warmth to that light. I can choose a warmer yellow, like a cadmium yellow. And then I can move on to my reds. And I found when choosing my red that I had a bit of a decision to make, because some of the reds in this image definitely seem like they're leaning towards the more purple end of the spectrum. For example, on the mug, there's definitely a purple glow, almost a pinkish hue there. And there's also a pinkish hue on the triangular candle at the bottom hand corner of the picture. But also there's a warmth throughout the picture, and there's these orange colours coming from the light sources. It's subjective which colour you choose. I wanted the warmth to come through, and I wanted the whole mood to be a cosy. I went for a neutral red, quite a balanced red, but I went for a red which did have a little bit more orange in it. To colour mix, we work through each colour on our palette and identify where this colour occurs within our image. If you blur your eyes slightly, some colours will be lost, but some colours still remain visible, and these are the colours that are most important to our image. You work from light to dark, starting with yellow. Identify an area where there is a pale yellow in your image. So this is the colour that you're aiming to mix. However, if you mix a really lovely colour on the way, you can save this for your palette. For example, I'm trying to mix the pale apricot yellow in the reflection of the window. However, before I make this colour correctly, I arrive at another mixture, which I'm going to use to paint the candle wax, which is a slightly darker, more reddy apricot. For every colour I try to mix, I need to ask myself where this colour falls on the colour wheel. So for yellow, is the colour that I'm trying to mix a more green yellow, completely balanced yellow with equal parts of green or red, or a warmer and more orangey yellow? If it is a warmer yellow, as it is here, I need to add a little bit of red into the mixture. If the colour is too vibrant and I want a more brown or earth-toned yellow, I can add a little of the opposite colour. I'm also going to mix two darker tones. See, there's quite a lot of dark areas in this picture because it is kind of a half light, just lit by the candles. So I've chosen a blackish hue, and I went with a Payne's grey out of my choices of an ivory black, which is a slightly more greeny red black, or Payne's grey, which is a slightly more purpley, a blue one. And because I had chosen to go with that more orangey red to highlight the warmth, I decided to go for a more purple toned black so that I could still get those lilac colours that I identify in the picture. I also went for a burnt umber so that I could just pick up a little bit more warmth in some of those shadows as well. And again, that's going to balance out any coolness that the Payne's grey brings to the picture. I start with my base of brown or black. Looking at the shadows, I try to identify if this colour is closer to green, purple, red or blue. And once you've decided, you can add a little bit of this colour, the green, purple, red or blue, into your brown or black base. Once you've got a few colours, probably anywhere between 8 and 12 colours, start with the initial block in, and then you can always add more colours later on. So that's the basic method of how to choose your colours and how to colour mix.